Switch on hospitality and welcome to another episode of the Schulering Hub podcast talking hospitality. One of the top 35 global podcasts you should be listening to according to International Hospitality Institute. Thank you for voting for us. Today, we have an experienced hotelier with over 25 years of international experience, having worked for some of the best international brands in 11 countries, from Europe to the Middle East, Asia, India, Africa, the Caribbean, and Mexico. Educated in Italy, the UK, and most recently with Cornell University in Singapore. He's an avid learner and continues his education, investigating online to keep up to date with the latest global tourism trends. He started his career in Dubai with the Jeremiah Hotel Resorts. I hope that I said it right. Worked with Four Seasons, Hilton, Aman Resorts, IHG, Lux Resorts, Starwood, and other independent companies managing world-class luxurious hotels. I have even to read this because it's so extended. He contributes actively as an influencer of the hospitality industry through social media, writing articles in digital blogs, speaker in several conferences and podcasts, visiting lecture at hotels, schools, and has been a board member of pro bono organizations like Hoteliers Guild, GSN Planet, and the World Wellness Weekend. After years of brewing his idea and mastering the art of hospitality, he has decided to put all his experience and knowledge into a revolutionary hospitality concept with a unique business model and began working on My Humble House concept. He's still actively working in the industry and he's currently in Mexico consulting for various developers of boutique hotels and master plan communities. Rocco Bova, is an honor. Welcome to the show.
My God, maybe I should change my name to Steve Jobs or something, you know.
It's impressive. It's impressive. And it's a great honor to have you here talking to you and sharing your story. It's an inspiring story. And I'm sure that our community will benefit a lot from listening to it. So thank you very much for being here.
It's a pleasure, Mauricio. You know, we've been connected now for the past couple of months, but it looks like I've known you forever, you know. You're such a nice person.
It's true.
You know, these words that you just mentioned, I wrote them myself. I don't lie. But every time I listen to them, it's like somebody else wrote them for me. It's incredible how everything that you just said is actually real, because even myself sometimes I don't believe it. You say, how is it possible I've done all this? I'm very, very proud, obviously, of what I've achieved over the past 30 years. And also happy because every time I'm reminded of what I've done from such a humble beginning, it makes me even happier than the day before. So thank you for reminding me this.
It's such an honor. Like, I've been following you for a while. Before even we actually start talking, connecting, I was reading your articles. I knew who you were. I was a bit afraid of actually start a conversation with you, thinking like, whoa, who's this expert? I'm not prepared for that yet. But you are such a great person, such a great human, you know, like, and you said something last time we spoke. You said that something that really touched me, and it's just why I started all this to meet people like you. And you said that sometimes you consult with people that you provide the service, and then you continue helping them just to continue to make sure that they are doing okay, even though you're not charging them, because you want to give back to hospitality. You really want to help the industry. And I almost cried. I was hiding myself like, well, I won't cry here, because this is the type of humans we should have around us every single time. So thank you for being who you are. Just that. And as a human, let's collect with your life values that brought you to work in hospitality. You start from a humble beginning. And what are the values that brought you to hospitality?
You know, my tagline or my signature on my Hotmail says, a hotelier serving the world from the heart. And, I think that the bottom line of hospitality is all about this. You just need to serve others, and you need to serve it sincerely, meaning that you really want. And I've been working, in so many countries, and some countries really made this statement even stronger. For example, in India, a guest is a god. When they serve someone, it's like they're serving God for them, for their culture. When I came to Mexico, I learned, mi casa es tu casa. My house is your house. And other example in different parts of the world, which are different, but they all have a connecting line everywhere. And in my house in Italy, my parents, I remember my father or my mom. My father passed away already some 25 years ago. My mom, she's still the same. If anyone is knocking the door or ringing the bell, she will go and open. And if they're selling something, that you don't need, she will say, listen, I don't have the money to buy it, but I'll give you one apple and a bottle of water.
Yes.
That's the best way of hospitality one can see, And I grew up with this kind of value. And so, everything became natural for me to actually enter the hospitality industry. And with this alone, I think I've said quite a lot. Because you need to be, you need not to be afraid of opening the door to someone, because you never know who's going to be there. And if you have good intention, even if somebody with bad intention will not hurt you, we just want to have your money perhaps, but will not hurt you if you have good intention. And if it's a person with good intention, so much better, because then you open the door and you find an amazing person on the other side. And when you say that you are so glad to meet me, I'm also glad to meet you and to meet so many people in this 30 years of career, of international career. I met incredible people. And in fact, I can guarantee you that 99% of the people out there, they're all good. There's only 1% of people that are bad. So that's okay. If you avoid them, you're going to be fine.
True.
So basically, this is what I can tell you about my value.
That's true. That's inspiring again. And you're right on that. Like only 1% of the people probably have actually bad intentions. And we just hide probably ourselves behind the fear of opening up sometimes. And it's so beautiful when we open and we build these relationships and learn that there's so much good out there to be shared and to grow. And it's amazing. Thank you for sharing that right now, Rocco. And how about challenges? How about the challenges of the career? Are there things that really, really challenge you?
Of course, so many. In fact, for me, if I go and work in an easy job, I get bored very quickly. I don't like, I enjoy more when it's a mess and you need to clear this mess. Slowly, you need to put things in place. Challenges, I probably had the two biggest challenges that became the two biggest learning curve in my life. One week going back probably about 15 years ago, I was in Malaysia and I was working for a hotel there that for some reasons I was not delivering the expectations of the company. But for my point of view, I think I was really working really hard and I was trying to do my level best, but for some reasons at the eyes of the company, I was not. So I reached to the point that I got my last warning letter and the basically a pen to resign. But then I said to myself, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to give up. I think I'm doing okay. Maybe I'm not doing the best yet, but I'm doing my best. And I said to the people in front of me, I said to them, I don't think I'm the only problem in this place, but if you give me your full support, I promise you that I will do everything in my hand to change. So they stay silent for a few seconds and retreated with this letter with some time. They told me, Rocco, give us some time, we'll get back to you. They were not expecting, I think, such a response. They were expecting somebody to sign the resignation and end the story. Anyway, the story was that the hotel changed. A few people left. I remained. And the hotel became one of the most successful in the region at the time. We won many awards. We broke every possible record in terms of revenue, guest satisfaction, staff satisfaction, you name it. But I learned one thing, that the moment you give up, you lose. That's as simple as that, okay? So I suggest that to people that if they know they're doing okay, they're doing well, they have the integrity to say that what they're doing is correct, then they should not give up. The second story I would like to share, second challenge that changed my life, was when I became for the first time a general manager. And that's normal. I actually failed to be a good general manager because I was not ready to be a general manager, and I fell onto my face. But I didn't hurt myself too bad, because when you fall, you need to stand up again, clean up yourself and move on. That's simple. But the one thing I learned is to make sure that you always have a clear direction from the top, and you also have a good mentor next to you, or somebody that you are sure is going to be mentoring you into this new life, because it's easy to get to a certain point where the responsibility doesn't fall 100% onto your shoulder. But the moment you get all responsibility onto your shoulder, and it's your first time, you better always have somebody to mentor you, to assist you with a piece of advice every now and then. Not every 5 minutes. You don't need somebody to spoon feed you, but at least every now and then to give you some coaching so that you are doing the right thing all the time. Anyway, when I fell, I stand up, I cleaned up myself, and I moved on. And guess what? Was even better to go from this place, because I went into a better place for me, a better place for my family, for my children, and I'm still here. So it was not so bad after all, to be honest.
Rocco, what two fantastic stories. I was taking notes here as you were speaking, because this message, it must be repeated and sink in, yeah? If you give up, you lose. Let that sink in. And you need a good mentor, and make sure that you're getting clear directions. You understand what it's saying. And when you say that about you fail, clean up, stood up, and found something and found your way, it's just, there is a book that I love, I absolutely love, called Mindset from PhD Carol Dweck.
I found this book. I downloaded it already. Thank you.
No problem. It's in my Bible. I absolutely love this book. And it speaks about the growth mindset. And you said it at all. You can fail, but you're not a failure. It's not a label. A lot of people, when they fail, they label themselves as a failure. And it's really hard to get up when you think that you are a failure. Failing is part of the learning process. Kids fall, get up, fall, get up, fall, get up until they walk. And you are just that. And thank you very, very much for putting that into a story, a real story that relates to our community here, because sometimes a lot of people can read this, can watch lectures, but they can't connect with the real story in their lives. That's the hospitality, and you're doing that. Thank you very much for sharing, because now it touched my heart. It touched my favorite book,
Thank you.
You have an amazing career, yeah? And I want to know a story about a very memorable experience. What was your most memorable experience in this whole career?
Hold on tight. So there was this American lady. I was in Mauritius, and this lady, she was not an happy customer, not at all. So the people from reception, they called me and said, "Mr. Rocco, you have to come down. This lady, she wants to check out." I said, "She wants to check out for what?" She said, "No, she's not happy at all, and she wants to leave the hotel immediately." And I said, "Okay, hold her for a second. I'm coming." So I ran and I reached this lady, and I, normally, as you with a big smile, you go there, shake her hands, and and she said to me, "Who are you?" Just like that. And I told her, I'm the hotel manager here. I heard that you want to leave. what's happening? And she said to me, this place is horrible. I want to leave right now. And I said to her, just very calmly, just like that. And I said to her, you need to walk over my body if you want to leave this hotel. And I saw a little smile in their face. And I said, okay, I gained. I saw a little smile in her face and she asked me, where are you from? I said, okay, I broke the ice. So she said to me, I told her, I'm from Italy. Why? She said to me, because only Italian can do this.
Probably very true.
And I told her, okay, now that I got your trust for a second, I would like you to give me another chance. If you give me 5 minutes, I told her, 5 minutes. If I cannot comply, I will help you to find another hotel. But if you give me 5 minutes, I need to find out if I have a particular room, a suite for you, and then you tell me if you want to stay or you want to. So I checked in the villa. There was one big villa with 5 bedrooms, but 2 of the 5 bedrooms were sold like individual suite. And so happened to be that one of them was available. And I said to her, okay, give me another 15 minutes so I can show you this beautiful room. And you tell me if you want to stay or not. So anyway, we go with a golf cart and I take it. In the meantime, I try to calm her down and she was doing much better in the first initial approach. Anyway, she saw the room. She was speechless. I knew she was speechless because I knew the product, of course. So I knew she would not say no. And I told her, okay, so if you're fine, I could call concierge to bring your luggage over here. And she told me, Rocco, for this time you won.
For this time, goodness.
For this time you won. She was a tough cookie. But, these are the things that really make my day. If I can turn someone completely disgruntled and completely unhappy into a happy guest, this is priceless, Unfortunately, she was only staying one more night, so I couldn't get a chance to say goodbye to her, and I didn't. I mean, she never wrote to me, so I didn't have any contact to reconnect with her. But if she's listening to the story, she probably knows who she is.
That's a really beautiful story indeed. That's a very, very, very nice story. And if other hoteliers are there, we all know that these people every now and then come along and they like to, it's not that they like, it's just the way that they are. But it's turning that story around is a very nice way of making your day, I believe. Yeah. Let's get into my humble house, because this is where I actually start following you because of the project. And tell us, what is my humble house, please?
How much time do we have?
As much as you need.
No, I'll try to be brief. It's a long story, but let's begin with the name first. I think you should know, and the audience should also know how I came with this name, because it's important. It's not the logo that is important, but it's the name that is important of a brand. So about 15 years ago, I was in Singapore, and I was invited for the grand opening of this fancy restaurants in Singapore called exactly My Humble House. So I was very excited because obviously it's a good, nice place to network, to meet people, old friends, new friends, and so on and so forth. So I go there and I see this beautiful restaurant, beautiful view over the bay. But then I said, okay, just another nice restaurant. There's nothing really. The food was okay, but just fancy, nothing else. But the name, said My Humble House. This is so cool. And there was nothing humble about this hotel, this restaurant, by the way. Everything was, I think they must have spent like, I don't know, $2 or $3 million to build it. But anyway, I love the name, and I said, you know what? I'm going to keep this name. I'm going to do something. I didn't know what I was going to do yet, but I knew that it was going to be useful. So 15 years later, 13 years later, before turning 50, I said to myself, now I'm going to turn half a century. I need to do something for the next half a century of my life, and for others possibly. And I said to myself, I'm an hotelier. I've only been working in hotels. I only know this industry so well. So I need to do something in this industry, in this business. And I started to think, and I said, okay, maybe I should start to work on a hotel concept, something new. The name was already there. I said, My Humble House, that sounds perfect for an hotel brand. And so I go for it and I start writing and writing and writing. This was just before the pandemic started. So I'm talking about February, March 2021. And I wrote about 150 pages of this story or this business plan. Call it a business plan, but at the time it was not a business plan. But I was very happy because, I said, this is my book, this is my story. And so I sent this document to many, many people around the world. And everybody replied to me and said, Rocco, this is amazing. Nobody has ever done something like that. And this is what hospitality should be about. And so I felt even better. I felt even more motivated to continue in this. But a couple of people, two in particular, they told me, one lady, she told me, Rocco, this is a brain vomit. Make some order because that's not, nobody's going to read that. And the second person, she told me also, two women actually, it's interesting that two women, they told me, Rocco, it's a diamond, but you need to polish it. Right now it's very rough. So she was a little more politically correct, more romantic. But it was the same thing, basically. Anyway, so I start to work and polish and learn about how to write a business plan and so on and so forth. So now I've got the business plan. So about a year ago, I completed the business plan. And this, in a nutshell, what it is, My Humble House. So it's a hotel concept. It's a hotel concept that is not revolutionizing the hotel industry because a hotel is a hotel and will always be a hotel. We cannot change the hotel industry. We can only change the design and maybe add some amenities. But a hotel is a hotel. When people, they tell me that, they are trying to change, bring a new brand, there's nothing new really. It's just a hotel. So it's no point to BS ourselves and to think we are reinventing something. We are not reinventing anything, just design, product, and service. But the concept of hotel is always be the same. You have a pre-arrival, you have an arrival, you have a stay, you have an experience, you have a checkout, and possibly some company, they will do a post-visit, they will do a follow-up after that. Some company. Most company, they don't even do it. But for me, the main change was meant to be in the business model, not so much in the concept of hotel. But the business model was or I think is wrong right now because what's happening in the traditional business model is somebody is giving you money or you have the money, you open a business hoping you make more money. Yes. Simple. That's the traditional business model. And then when you don't make more money, then the people who give you the money to do the business person will tell you, hey, why you're not making more money? So they squeeze you, they give you more pressure, so you feel more stress and then you get sick and then eventually you die of heart attack because you were not able to comply with the expectation of that lender or the bank or the investors. I don't want to do that. So I said to myself, no, I think we can do better than this. So I started to change the business model into a profit sharing instead, so that people can actually earn money from the money that is made. And I'm talking about the staff. I'm not talking about just leadership. I'm talking about the rank and file staff because they are the one who actually make the work happen, not leaders. Leaders, most of the time, they stay behind, they meet, they calculate, and they focus on future, but the real people that they actually make things happen at the rank and file staff. So what tools can we give other than the tools to do their job? Well, we can compensate their hard work with money. At the end of the day, people work for money. Let's be honest, you don't work for pleasure and for passion, and you need to pay your bills. You need to eat, you need to buy a car, you need to pay for your cost. If you have children, you have to send them to school. There is a minimum that you have to earn in order to have a decent life. And in our industry in particular, we're very bad at that because we pay very poorly our team members. So with this new business model, I'm hoping to solve one of the biggest problems in our industry is the staff turnover. And second, actually, the commitment and the love for the industry. because we need to re-enamor, these people that they left the industry during the pandemic. We lost millions and millions of talent in the past 2 years or so. We need to do something.
I'm just let it sink in, because yesterday I was reading an article from the Insider where it said the 3 professions that pay the least that you shouldn't do it. And it was psychology, it was hospitality, and the third one was, I don't know, another one that, but were 3. I was impressed with psychology, but hospitality was there. That was underpaid, and it was, unemployment rate was actually high according to them, but I disagree. But the underpay was very high. It was paying 65% less than the work should be, kind of thing. And when you say such a thing, it's just very impressive that we must change something in the industry. Technology is coming to assist that, not to replace. And it's not about pocketing more. It's about actually getting more value in the pocket of who is going to do the work, isn't it?
Totally. And even if you think that the hospitality doesn't pay well, it's actually not true. Hospitality do pay well when you reach to a certain level, for sure. And I can guarantee that it pays you well enough to have a good living. Now, how much is enough? It's one's choice. For me, I'm earning enough. I'm happy. I have a good life. I can travel. I can go to nice restaurants. I cannot complain. But of course, how much is enough? Depending how much you want to earn. My motto in my life is I want to die happy. I don't want to die rich.
That's very good. That's really good. And Rocco, what's the business model then of My Humble House, please?
So basically, I'm looking for a person, a crazy investor to give me $20 million. That's it, simple. So with this $20 million, what would I do? I will build about 50 units. Half of it will be hotel, the other half will be residences for sale. And the sale for residence will be, as an average, about $1 million per unit. So that will make you already your 20 million investment when you sell the residences. That's a typical business model. Most hotel company, they do it. The other part of the business, because you need to be sustainable, obviously, to become viable as a business. Where is the sustainability here? And not so much of being green and whatever. This is another story. The sustainability of a business is when the business can continue for a very long time, or ideally forever. So you work in this industry for some time, so you know what happens typically. Happens about 3 things. One thing happen is that your team members, they steal time from you, meaning that they are not efficient. The second thing is that they do steal from you as a company, they steal things, literally. They steal meat from the fridge, amenity from the room, a Coca-Cola from the bar, and so on and so on. And the last but not the least, they steal money, they steal cash. But why they do that? They do that for one reason mainly, because we don't pay them well enough. Simple. And maybe for the second reason is because we don't treat them well enough. So if you treat your people very well, if you have great leaders and they take truly care of people, and you pay sufficiently your team members, they don't need to do that because they know they will earn enough money to make a living. But on top of that, there are 2 main areas of My Humble House business model where will allow the business to be sustainable for the longer term. So one is to share the profit with your team members. So up to 10% of the net profit will be shared with the team members.
That's a
so imagine I work for a company and they tell me, Rocco, if I earn more money, you also earn more money. Great.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And the second thing is that 10% of the net profit will be kept in a bank, or let's say in a fund that is not going to be touchable. Why I'm doing that, why I'm proposing this as a part of the model is because most investors, what they do at the end of the year, they make a dividend of the unit of the net profit, and they spend this dividend. Or maybe they reinvest in another business to grow. But why don't you keep some money for this one business? Because what happened during the pandemic, when the pandemic started, everybody didn't have any saving, apparently. I say apparently because, of course, there was money. But the easy choice was, no, we have no money. So the only way to survive is to cut people, to cut payroll, to cut costs as much as possible, shut down, do nothing for as long as it has to be. Well, we are starting to see the result of this decision. It was not the best, the most correct. In fact, I worked for companies that they didn't take out one single individual. We did other things to survive during this period of time, but I worked for two companies during this 2 years of pandemic in Mexico, and both companies, they did not remove a single person because they knew that when the business will come back, they need these people.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, they lost money, and a lot of money, probably. But thankfully, in Mexico, the closure or the shutdown of the industry was not very long. It was only 3 months. After 3 months, business started to reopen slowly with limitation of number of people and so on and so forth. But, business is normal now. Life is normal in Mexico since more than a year and a half.
Yeah.
So we need to do some change in the business model. We cannot keep doing what we've been doing forever. We need to do something else. And I'm here to, not to say that I have the best idea and the one that is going to change the world, but I'm going to continue to talk about it because if I do nothing, nothing is going to happen. I will continue to talk about it and see sooner or later after this 8+ billion people in this planet, I just need to find one. I'm sure he's there somewhere. I'm very sure. I just need to find it. I will get you. I will get you.
I love that. If you keeping 10% of profit for the staff, 10% the profit to the bank, and someone gave you $20 million, $20 million US dollars, why then would someone actually give you this money? What would be the drive? Because if we want to find that person, you need to tell them why and find that like with the heart,
It's true, and I know it's not an easy task. In fact, I'm not looking for the traditional investor. I'm looking for a non-traditional investor. In fact, a lot of people, they spoke to me, Rocco, what is my return on the investment? And my immediate answer is, thank you. I don't want to talk to you any longer. But earlier I mentioned it. I should have explained it a little bit clearer. But the three things that the people steal from you, in fact, are the 20% that you've been talking about.
Yep.
Because if people, they don't steal money, they don't steal time, and they don't steal things, this will become profit.
Yep.
So I calculated conservatively that this will get into your bottom line, so you don't have to lose any money. You don't lose anything because you are safekeeping your business. You are making sure that you have people that they are efficient. For example, a lot of people, they want to work from home, but still they want to get paid like before. Well, my deal here is, you want to work from home? Perfect, no problem. Work from home. I contract you like a supplier.
Yep.
I don't contract you like a full-time employee. I contract you as a supplier. So you supply me a service, I pay you for your service. If you take 1 hour or 7 hours, it's your business. It's up to you. But I pay you for your service and not for your time. We need to start to think about that certain services in our industry can be used as a suppliers, and others, they need to be used as a time. Because, for example, a waiter, a chef, a receptionist, or somebody working in engineering because they need to give maintenance to the hotel, I cannot pay them for their service. I need to pay them for the number of hours that they work, because to make a certain work requires a certain amount of time. And the restaurant open at a certain time and closes at other times. So I need to get the people for the time. But for others, okay, I pay you for your service, no problem. You want to stay home, for example, finance, how necessary is to have a 5-6 people, accountant and assistant accountant and director of finance and whatever, payroll people and so on. So many things can be outsourced or can be used as a service instead. and others instead not. So there is so many ways you can do that. It's just we've been used to traditionally work in a certain way, and we are dinosaurs. The hospitality industry is a dinosaur. Hasn't changed for 100 years. So that's why I keep telling you, nobody's creating anything new. Everything is the same as it was 100 years ago. It's just a hotel. But the business model can definitely change. Yeah. See, tech company, they don't last very long. It's true. But the little period that they last, they make lots of money. So the money is there to be made. It's just that we are dinosaurs, and we don't want to change.
That's really well put. That's really well. We are dinosaurs, and it's true. And we do need some fresh ideas, some bringing up some energy, fresh ideas, and people willing to change that, to bring something that will turn to the people, that will involve everyone and bring some innovation. Let's just use the word innovation without being robots, just innovation to the human side. And Rocco, where are you right now with your project?
Well, I'm very well advanced, actually. In fact, my humble house has grown from being just a hotel concept, has grown into a master plan with 4 segments in this master plan. So you have my humble house, which is the hotel with the residences. You have a community of digital nomads, and we are talking about small community. We're not talking about 3,000 rooms. It's still everything is below 100 units. Nothing. I want to keep this as like a small village with different things happening. Then I have a third community, which is I'm stealing this from somebody else, but I need to think about a different name. But right now I'm calling it the modern elder community. So you have the digital nomad community, that they are very young people, with this, they want to work from a laptop, with the feet in the sand or looking at the jungle. But then you also have another community of people of my age or maybe a little bit older, that they made a lot of money, not me. So for some people, they made a lot of money. They work probably in tech company, they made millions and millions of dollars. They are able to retire, but they're still too young to retire. They still want to do something. They still want to contribute. They have a need to contribute to the community. And so why not we put them together with the digital nomads so they can work together. And so these 2 communities, they obviously have a hotel that can serve for their purpose, for maintenance, technical services, cleaning, food and beverage, of course, sports and other activities. So I already have another secondary market assisting revenue for the hotel. And then finally, there's a 4th segment of this master plan, which is, I call it the green bank. So the green bank, I'm envisioning this place to be somewhere, in the jungle, literally, because nature, can be in the jungle, can be a jungle close to the sea, or can be in the mountains, doesn't matter, but it needs to be somewhere immersed in nature, because I think that people are tired in living in this metropolis with traffic, with noise. We need to get also a little bit of a few years of our life, maybe not forever. People maybe get bored, but why not to do 3-4 years? Again, I'm not looking for life loyalty, Mm-hmm. I'm not looking for people that stay with me forever. I'm looking for people who stay with me for a period of time and to become my ambassadors. Say, if you want to go to a place, you need to go to this place. Mm-hmm. And so this green bank is a bank. It's literally a bank for the environment, a bank where we produce seeds, where we produce plants. So it's a greenhouse, okay, but I call it a green bank because the idea is to produce plants, fruits, vegetables that they are not genetically modified. So it might be not enough for the production, although I'm looking for a big piece of land, because if you're looking to be away from the city, I'm also looking to provide jobs for the community that is close to it. Because the idea is to provide wealth also for the people that live not next to your business, and not just say, okay, I charge $2,000 per night and this is my money. No, let's provide work for the community. So I offer this land for free to the community. I provide them the tools to work the land. I provide them with anything that they need, the resources to work the land. But the produce of this land that can be used obviously for the other three community, for the landscape, for the food that is produced, but also is able to be sold for the community outside. So if a person wants to buy lettuce or tomatoes, okay, they have a place where they can go and buy that. You can have a little farm with a small animal. I mean, there is so much that can be done, but you need to provide the tools for the community. So I can just see it, that this circular economy is just going to be so much. In fact, I think it's going to be better than the typical business model. Because when people are happy, they produce more. Even when the animals are happy, they produce, chicken. You heard the story that they play Beethoven music, to the chicken so they can produce more eggs. It's actually true. If you take care of your animals, they live a longer life. They produce better. The meat is not hard. The eggs are nice and plump. I mean, yes, it can work. But I need a crazy person, that one person, it's you. I know you are there. I just need to find you, and I will find you.
Rocco, it is a very mind-blowing project. It is a beautiful project. It's not about, it's so selfless, it's about giving, it's about sharing, it's about involving people, it's about getting the young and the new and exchanging experiences and work with the land. And it is about providing hospitality. It is so much. It's such a beautiful project. My heart is open for you, and I will do what I can to find that person as well. Unfortunately, when you say that is you, I understand that is not me too. So unfortunately, it's not. I hope that one day it will be. But I see so many possibilities here, because it's not only, you don't need an investor. You may need just that retiree that is looking to retire and have a community around and make that happen. From that person that has a lot of money and wants to give back somehow. A lot of people are doing that right now, isn't it?
Of course. There are a lot of people that they give back money. They give back money for charity, for so many things. And they give sometimes, I'm sorry to say that, but I'm actually not sorry, because they give money to charity organizations that actually do nothing, or they do too little, because 90% of the money, before it gets to the real people that really need the money, it's actually already gone for contractors, for their cost of living, or for their salary, or whatever else, advertisement and other stuff, and then maybe 10% of that money will go to the real people. No, I want this money to go really to the community. Of course, I will take some money for me, some money. How much is enough? We go back to the first, how much is enough? Yeah. Because when a person will tell me what is my return on the investment, maybe I will not tell him immediately, okay, I don't want to talk to you. But I will tell him, okay, how much is enough? Yeah. What is your intention to have the return on your investment? Because if they go back to the traditional return on the investment, then my answer will be no, I cannot guarantee you that. Thank you so much.
You can always say also your happiness. Isn't it? Yeah. Rocco, it's been a fantastic chat, a fantastic encounter. Like, you are such an inspiring person, and I hope that that inspire other hoteliers and gets to people to share this story, to share this idea, to share this podcast. So if you liked this story, please share with your colleagues, share with other people, and let more people know that there are hoteliers like Rocco that are thinking about how to improve society. It's not only about our industry, it is about our industry, but not only. It's about society, it's about the community, it is about a lot more. And Rocco, if that investor is out there listening to it now, how can he reach you? Or she, of course.
Well, if you're out there, my name is Rocco Bova. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm very active. And there are not many Rocco Bova in the world, probably a handful. And crazy like me, probably only one. So it won't be difficult, And by the way of this of this podcast. I will share also my link to my page. My Humble House already has a page on LinkedIn, by the way, and we have over 2,700 followers. Even though we have no hotels, I still have a lot of people following me, and I have a lot of people asking me for work, and a lot of people asking to invest, micro investors. We are ready to go. We are ready to go. I've got everything.
Rocco, I'll put your links with our podcast in the LinkedIn, on our website. I'll put all the links to reach you. And you community, if you want to reach me out and see how you can talk to Rocco, please just reach me out. I make that introduction. I talk to him and get you to having that conversation, start that conversation. If you have something else to add, something to ask, please reach out. And the conversation is important, like how the challenge is everything, is about learning everything, is about evolving this idea, evolving this project that is ready. We're just missing one little part, right, Rocco? It's just one part. We're gonna get there. Rocco, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. That was an amazing chat. That was amazing conversation. And I thank you so much for lending me your time.
It's been a pleasure, Mauricio. Let's stay in touch, and thank you for everyone for listening. And look forward to the next one. And maybe we'll do another one very soon.
I hope so. Thank you very much, Schulering community. Been a pleasure. Talk to you soon. Bye.